So today I'm starting with the part two, interfacing microcontrollers with actuators. Here I am having the following contents the same way. In the previous topic, the part one, we have dealt up to the stepper motors. So today we deal with the permanent magnet motors with sensors. See here, the permanent magnet motors, especially DC motors, we are going to adopt for the designing of the mechatronic systems. This DC motors, it will access with a minimum of 1.32 amps to the maximum of 4 amps. Okay, so for the starting voltage of the 12 volts. Okay, so now how we are going to activate the DC motors with the help of two methods. One is the use of relay circuits, the other is use of H-bridge circuits. Okay, so using the relay circuits, as we know that the up to relay, we know the actual working principle, how it is going to generate the signals from the output of the relay. So that is going to drive your motor. That is a high level signal or a low level signal. So depending upon the conditions generated from the PIC microcontroller and accessing through the driver, we are going to activate your DC motor. Okay. So now for the DC motor, we can just measure the speed generated by the motor. Okay, so if we know the proper revolutions, how many revolutions can be generated by the DC motor, we can easily find out what is the total speed by the DC motor depending upon the current and voltage supplied to that. Okay, so one is a relay circuit, the other is a H-bridge circuit. So this H-bridge circuit is especially adopted for bipolar technology. Since bipolar is nothing but two levels of voltages can be given to this circuit. That is, see, depending upon this H, the circuit exactly familiar with the H shape, okay, H alphabet shape. Okay, so one voltage flowing from the this supply uh, and Q1 and Q4 will be on, and Q3 and Q2 will be off. Okay, for the next negative level of the voltage supply. So Q3 and Q4, sorry, Q3 and Q3 and Q2 will be on, and Q1 and Q4 will be off. Okay, so this represents automatically it is going to generate a high level and as well as a low level signals. So when this type of signals are generated by the help of the H-bridge circuits, we can go for the pulse width modulation. So we can just find out like zeros and ones. A set of pulses can be generated with the help of the H-bridge circuit. Okay, so by the help of these H-bridge circuits, we can easily find out how actually this duty cycles can be generated for different levels of the voltage given to the DC motor. Okay, so this DC motor up to 0 to 5 volts, we can go for the ordinary unipolar operation. For the different duty cycles, if we are going to measure, then we can go for the this H-bridge circuit that can vary up to 24 volts. Correspondingly, the same thing it will be applicable for the other set of stepper motors also. The next topic is interfacing sensors. How we are going to interface the different types of sensors at the output of the uh, uh, interfacing circuit in the mechatronics. So we have a set of diode transistor pair. Okay, so that is how we are going to generate the zeros and ones. So in all these terms, we can adopt the PWM technique, pulse width modulation technique. That is, we need only the zeros and ones. So these zeros and ones will be transmitted through the phototransistor pair, in which the light rays is falling on the screen, that is on the disc. So on the disc we have the zeros, what is it, transparent portion as well as a translucent portion. We have an opaque portion and a transparent portion through which we can just identify which is high level and which is low level signals. Okay, so the whenever light passes onto the disk or any object, it is going to generate a high and low level signal. We are going to come across in the next uh, application. So there is photoreflector sensors also. So even in the photoreflector sensors, the whatever the light has been transmitted on the surface, it will be reflected back to the sensor itself, photoreflector sensor, where there we can just measure directly the zeros and ones. In the previous case, we used to measure separately through the disk. From the disk, whatever we are going to get as zeros and ones images. From there, we used to analyze high and low level signal, wherein in photoreflector sensors we are going to get the high and low level signals back into the sensor itself. We can easily measure that. Okay, so that is a major advantage of this photoreflector sensors. Okay, this is one such example I have given. Next is obstacle detection. So why we going for the obstacle detection? So these sensors and all, we are going to place how we are going to sense the signal, how the light has to be passed on to the object. Okay, whenever the obstacle, any object comes in front of the sensor, it will be able to sense your object. So they're just like a robot. Robot is nothing but we are going to place a sensor there. In front of that, we are going to place some object. Okay, so that is it is going to transmit the signal, and depending upon the condition, it is going to touch the object and it comes back. Okay, so it is going to hold your object. Okay, that is possible with the help of the obstacle detection. Once it is detected, we have the digital sharp sensor as well as the analog sharp sensor. Okay, the next part is a line tracer. So line tracer is we are going to sense here depending upon, see, from the big microcontroller we are getting zeros and ones. From there, through relays, after relays, we are going to connect to the line tracer, wherein depending upon the voltage levels coming up to the relay and to the line tracer, we are going to just getting a zeros and ones. So how that will be applicable to sense the surfaces, how we are going to, it is going to distinguish between a white and black surfaces. So with the help of this sensor. Okay, so this is your line tracer. So that is, it is going to sense the white surface as well as black surface, which is having a length high between your surface and the sensor will be 8 to 12 millimeter. If it crosses about 12 millimeter, it will not be able to sense the color of the surface, or to sense the surface of having a different combinations. So that will be fed. So that is white and black is high and low level signals. Okay, so this is about the line sensor. Next we have a interfacing with the DAC. DAC, you know that a digital to analog converter. So up to here we have got a digital signal. I want to suppose actually activate the output devices, wherein I'll be getting a set of digital signals that has to be converted into analog version. Okay, so how it is done? So in the analog version, so that is, we can adopt different types of DAC devices. For this particular case, for interfacing of microcontrollers through actuators, so we are going for the AD557. Okay, so you have a minimum of what is that? Maximum of 2.56 volts. Okay, and it is going to generate a 2000 RPM. Okay, so it is of the 8-bit. So these are the set of specifications corresponding to the AD557. Okay. Next, we are going to deal with the what type of actuators we need. Okay, and what are the different specifications needed to design this type of devices. See, we have a set of actuators, we have a set of drivers over here, and the parameters or the specifications needed to activate these actuators. We are going to I'm having a set of information. Okay, so after this, especially for interfacing of power supplies, you know that each and every mechatronic system, my power supply is very much necessary over here. Okay, so in the previous thing we had only just 0 to 5 to generate a 0 to 0 and 1 type of signal, or low level signal as well as a high level signal. What about your other set of values when you are going to get a purely of analog type? So that when you are converted signal into the analog version, so for that particular case, we have to go for the higher voltage levels also. That will be varied from 12 volts, 5 volts to 12 volts, 12 to 100, 120 to 40 volts, like that, depending upon the type of application. Okay, so for this also, you need to select what type of power supply is necessary for different applications, especially in the mechatronic system, that we can come across here. Okay, so this completes the chapter 4. Thank you very much.